Of course, this would not be possible. This would not be possible without the amazing. I mean, as you can see, we really went to the Amazon. That was actually a python on Magnus' face. We really got attacked by ants. Let's welcome up our entire cast of Inferno. Lorenza Izzo is Jesse. Come on, Lorenza. Ariel Levy, Kirby Bliss Blanton, Daryl Sabara, Nicolas Lopez, producer, writer, and Antonio Corcho, the Dialects. Our director of photography, our fearless director of photography. And she's shy, she's sitting on our costume designer, Elisa. Wave Elisa, not there. So we'll talk about Aftershock was done, and then you went right back on stuff now. Yeah, we couldn't get enough. I had such a great experience, and I found, obviously, how many people saw Aftershock? Right. Obviously, you recognize really the entire cast of Aftershock, and while we were shooting, I actually finished the script for Inferno, and it originally started with me thinking, what if like you were kind of trying to pick up on cannibals, but you had weed because you got weed down in the Amazon, and then you fed the cannibals weed to get the sun to see, oh, then they get the munchies. Like, just kind of started from there. And we wrote the script and realized that, you know, Nicolas and I had such a great experience shooting Aftershock. We wanted to go right into the Green Inferno. And we did, and we found like there's an amazing group of talent. And, you know, we love what Almodóvar did in Spain. Just kept using the same group over and over. And we wanted to push it. We wanted to go farther than any film crew had gone and filming crazy. I mean, it was really that river almost spilled Lorenzo. We all had to get deep parasited afterwards. We got yellow fever shots. It was fucking crazy. So and these were you know really crazy enough to do it. And of course some people joined from Los Angeles and Canada. But it was a wild journey.
What can you tell us about the tribe?
The village. This is amazing. You know, we went. I was scouting in Peru, and I just got on the river, and they call it Pongo Aguirre because the last person anywhere near there was Werner Herzog for Aguirre the Wrath of God. So yeah, so we're like feeling super Herzog, and we're going to boat, and the guy's like, we're gonna run out of gas. We're going for hours. There's nothing. So we had to turn around. Just about to turn around, I saw this grass hut. And I was like, what is that? He's like, that's a village. And so we pulled up, and there's a little girl washing clothes on the beach. And then she kind of looks at us, and clearly like the first white person she's ever seen. There's nobody that visits this village, and they're living in straw huts or hammocks, and people start to come out of the huts. And so we kind of stay back, and the Peruvians go forward, and they say, can we go here? Because it's a protected land, they're farmers, and about once a year they have visitors, so it's not that unusual. But I said, can we, ready to go, can we shoot? And they said, well, first we have to explain to them what a movie is. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, they've never left the village, most of the people. There's no electricity, no running water, they're completely cut off. I mean, this is, it took us 4 hours to get there, just driving in the boat. And I said, well how do we do this? They're like, well, we'll come back with a television, and we'll show them a movie and explain to them what it is. I was like, great. So they're like, so they came in like, great news. We went back and we showed them the movie, and the village loved it. I was like, oh, what did you show them? He said, we showed them Cannibal Holocaust. The entire village of 300 people, the children, the old people, thought it was the funniest thing they've ever seen. It's the most popular comedy in Guyana, Peru. Children in the movie they had never seen. I think they showed Wizard of Oz, E.T. No, they showed Cannibal Holocaust. Their only frame of reference for what a motion picture is Cannibal Holocaust. And everyone in the village signed up to be cannibals. So we said, well, how can we pay them? We gave them money, but they said, this is kind of useless to us because we don't have a boat, so we can't get anywhere to spend it. So in addition to giving them money, we built a kitchen for the school. We roofed every house in the village for Aftershock. That was it. So we literally completely upgraded the infrastructure in the village. So and everyone got in on it. Like the kid climbing the coconut. I'd be like, I mean, the kids were playing soccer with the head. Like, they loved it. Like, I remember after they ate Daryl, they were all biting. And there was a river. We'd all go like jump in the river and shower off the guts. It was seriously. We talked to them and it was crazy how quickly the kids caught on. Like the kids were doing selfies and like, but it was like one of these life-changing experiences. We get out of the boat the first day, and the whole village, we're like, where is everyone? And they all went around the cooler because they had never seen ice cubes before. We were like, oh, and like passing around ice and like playing with ice. And there's no refrigeration, and it's 110 degrees there all the time. So why would they? And they had like cold, so like all the sodas went in minutes because they just couldn't drink them because they never had a refrigerated soda drink before. It was like this mind-blowing experience.
You were interrupted at one point on river scene.
Oh my God, this is the best thing ever. You're right, so the first day of shooting. So this is when we had everyone in the logs. Now the logs on that river were fucking uncontrollable. We very quickly started losing people. We had to jump in, like literally they're going down the river, tied up in a log, and they got in the current, and we just, it was really scary shooting that scene. So we're like, we gotta get this one. So we have all the activists are there. It's like the first day. So we have all the natives fully painted in, and this is like our amazing makeup artists that we really looked at National Geographic and did an amalgam of different tribes. We really wanted it to be authentic to the Amazonian tribes. Even though it was a mixture of them. And so we have everyone with the bones, nose, wheat, and candy effects, puts the bodies all over. I want to look like Colonel Kurtz's village, like you're going to the mouth of hell, you know, the dead bodies and skeletons. We had all the kids tied up in the boat. We're about to go, and these fucking boats pull up. And I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, and it was 2 boats full of Christian missionaries. From the super church in Texas. And Aaron's from Texas, and he recognized them, and they were like, oh my God, the devil is here. And they see the kids tied up, and fucking bodies and heads on spikes. And they were songs about Jesus and saying, they were like, oh my God, this is like the fucking Teamster shutting down cabin fever all over again. So of course I'm leaping with my camera to get this behind the scenes, and everyone has to hold me back, going, do not antagonize them. And they sat out in the river to interrupt our shooting, and thank God the sun was like 120 degrees, we could done, I couldn't stay. But the village basically told them, fuck off, come back. I love it when
So, in the shooting this, what was your most dangerous moment that you thought you were in, or what? Just give us a jungle story. A jungle story. Which one? 1, 2.
The river scene, that was a crazy scene. I literally didn't have to act at all. The screaming you see is completely real. There was a double who was actually not a double.
well, we can say this. This is a great story. This is classic shit.
Yeah, so I get there and I see this, you saw the size of the river, right? And the current is so strong. And my harness is made out of rope.
Home Depot, right?
Home Depot. So I'm touching this rope, sorry, my legs. And a guy is holding the rope. And he's like, okay, go. And I'm like, okay. And I jumped in the water, the current's like, and he was like, this is safe, right? I got 2 guys waiting for you in case the current takes you. So that was my safety backup plan. Like, in case the current took me, the current would take me, and 2 guys would swim after me. So that, oh my God, don't worry. There's a double for you. And I'm like, okay, there was no double.
They're like, we have a stunt girl. And so we go and we see the stunt girl, and she's sitting and she's on the edge of the boat. And I'm like, well, we get the wide shot. I'm like, roll the camera. She's on the edge of the boat. And I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, well, she's not really a stunt girl because there's no stunt girls in Peru. She's an actress that really wanted to be in the movie. Yeah, but she said it, and like the stunt guy's like, don't worry. And Pablo, our AD, we're like, what do we do? And I just see like Pablo and Sir go.
She had a life vest, and the guy swam after her.
She fucking freaked out. And I was like,
great.
We got like, I was like, hide your face. I was like trying to direct her. It was bad. So and then, thank God the 2 guys got her, and she was like traumatized and shaking.
I was truly
I think we gave her an extra $10. And then we got Lorenza, we're like, all right, we can't have Lorenza in the riverbank. And we put you by that rock, and there were takes where you were like, basically we had like a safety word and a thing where you pull the cord, and I think they almost broke your
That was
wrist.
not called a safety cord. That was a Home Depot rope attached to my leg, and he was pulling it, and it hurt more than pulling than the current. It was.
Shots. You got it.
We have questions from the audience.
First of all,
Oh, wait, sorry. I jumped the gun.
One thing I like about your movies, Eli, is that we get to really get to know the characters well before the carnage begins. And the one scene that was very memorable was Jonah's death. How did you train the natives or the actors for that scene? What did you tell the kids?
Well, shockingly, they were naturalists. When they started cutting the flesh off the bone, they required no direction whatsoever. The 5 old women, we call them the Pussycat Dolls. When they were cutting flesh, we were like, wow, they're kind of good at this. So, here, Aaron, why don't you talk about shooting that scene?
Okay, I mean that scene was pretty traumatic because I mean I'm seeing my own death and I'm basically I've read my own death and I know what's gonna happen and I've seen my own body and my own head that can't be invaded and I've done all prosthetic surgery. So I kind of know what I'm going into. I grew up around Robert Rodriguez and making movies with him, so I know what I'm getting into. And I get there, and there's the head, and it's all painted and it's ready to go. There's the rock where I'm going to be dying, and basically the rock was a hollowed out kind of structure. They're fiberglass, and I had to get inside with just my head sticking out. But they built that like a week before, and nobody had looked inside. And inside of that rock were the biggest motherfucking ants you've ever seen. And these ants are called Izula ants, and they're about an inch long, and their bite hurts worse than a gunshot, they say. It lasts for 24 hours no matter what you do, no matter what you put in, anything. So they grabbed trash bags and put it on my legs, duct taped them, and basically locked me in that rock for 4 fucking hours while they shot around me, and I don't remember any of it. And there's video of it. I've seen myself in that rock. I remember getting in. I remember getting out. I do not remember anything in between that point because they said that I went into like a trance and I was just singing like show tunes to myself because it was so fucked up. And then the kicker, here's the fucking kicker. I then had to go back and I was writing post-production on the movie and had to do all the VFX around the motherfucking death.
Yeah, Aaron did camera, the visual effects, the color timing, the post-production, the acting. Thank you. Please tweet that. Really, you guys are the first reaction, so we spend a year on IT. Oh, Colin Gaddy's for sure. He has that sweet Canadian meat. That airplane was fucking crazy. Filming that, those pure Chillywood. These guys at Chilliwack who did the crash on Aftershock, the funicular, we built a plane that went 360 degrees, and we just locked the cameras in and put the actors in it and spun it like a lottery machine. And when Aaron was barking upside down, it looked fucking crazy, but getting into the rig, there's absolutely no safety. We took the climb scaffolding, it was 30 feet in the air. And then they had to step over, and the guys were never paying attention, so they'd step in and the whole thing would start moving. It was crazy. Thank God no one killed them. All right, next question. Yes?
First of all, this one was the top time for not shot.
Well, thank you. The director's right there. You just made it go. You can actually compliment the movie without insulting the movie I wrote and starred in. So thank you.
Next question. Okay, what's the question?
The lines for that version of Uniform, were they just like handed, or did you have an interpreter?
Well, the language. We talked about the language, and we found out that there are a lot of different variations of Quechua. And Coco, who's Peruvian assistant director, we talked to the different people in the village. It was also a question of what they could speak. It's interesting how the older people in the village speak Quechua, and the younger kids speak Spanish and refuse to learn Quechua. But every village has a different version of Quechua. The slang varies so much from village to village. that it's almost like being in the North or being in the Deep South or being in an urban city. Or like, but the words change, the dialects change. So we picked a dialect that was textural, but that would be one that was comfortable to them, but that we also kind of got